All right, so welcome to lesson 3. Now, we created our first program which displayed hello world to us previously. Now let's start fresh with a new project. And I'd like us to create a master directory for this course, and then each lesson will have its own directory and respective files. So let's go to our file menu and select new project. Okay, and as you can see once again, in the location, it has this default location setting for us. Well, right now, it's in our user folder and it has PyCharm projects. And what we want to do is select or create this folder called, what do we call it? Learn Python. So that's going to be our master directory. And then each lesson will have its own directory. And so for this, we're going to have our lesson 3 inside of the Learn Python folder. So I'm just going to call it lesson 3. Yeah, we'll stick with lesson 3 for now. Okay, so just once again, just make sure everything is selected correctly, which it is, and boom. Oh, okay. Projects can either be opened. Okay, so this is basically saying if we wanted to create a new project, you need to either select if you want to open it in a brand new window. So this is a whole brand new window, or just use this window currently, and that will just replace this particular code. So I'm going to say this window. All right, so I'm going to close this virtual environment, and let's go on to our next topic. Now this time around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, rather than new file and us name our file hello.py, I'm just going to select Python file. And what that's going to do is it's going to automatically append that .py saying, hey, this is a Python file. So let's just name this print. Okay. And so as you can see, it just automatically added that .py, which tells the computer like this is Python code that we're running. So what I want to talk about is the print statement. And we saw that previously, but I want to dig into it a little bit more. And so what does print do? This is print. Okay, so this is a print statement. And what does this do? Okay, so you see this little squiggly line? It's like, oh my gosh, this is a typo. So our little code editors are extremely helpful in letting us know that there's typos sometimes. But this print statement, what does it do? The print statement tells Python, hey, show this on the screen. So think of it as you giving Python instructions to display something. And so our expectation when we put print welcome to HillmanTok is when we go into our terminal, it's going to display, it's going to output welcome to HillmanTok. And so let's just verify that. So once again, terminal, and you can see there's like a little keyboard shortcut that you can learn if you don't want to use your mouse when selecting these different windows. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to clear this out a little bit. All right, so I'm going to run this file, and rather than typing out Python 3 print.py, I'm actually going to use this run command. And so you see that the print statement, it displayed welcome to HillmanTok. So I'm going to give you a line-by-line explanation as to what's happening here. I'll keep it high level for now, but as we go along, things will make much more sense. Now this print statement, this is a function. This word print is an actual function. And a function is like a packaged set of instructions. Functions are used to tell Python to do something specific. And so another way to think of it is a function is like a recipe. If you have this recipe, let's say pancakes, and then the recipe is going to give you a set of instructions. Mix flour, milk, and eggs, and cook it in a pan. So in coding, a function is like a recipe with instructions built in. And when you use the function, you're asking Python to follow those instructions and give you the result. And so you also notice it says print, but then we have these parentheses. And parentheses are where we put the thing we want Python to show for the print statement. So think of them as a container for the text, could be numbers or whatever else we want it to display. All right, so we went from the print statement to the parentheses, and now let's take a look at what are these quotes. Now the quotation marks are super important. They tell Python, hey, this is just text. Don't try to treat it like code. Without the quotes, Python would get confused and throw an error. And now, of course, last but not least, the text. Welcome to HillmanTok. This is called a string. So a string is just a fancy word for text in programming. And whenever you want to show words or sentences, you need to put them inside quotes so Python knows that it's text. So here's an activity for you to do. You try running a print statement yourself. All right? Print hello star. Maybe I should, have a capital H. Hello star. You print that and hit the play button to run, or just use that handy little keyboard shortcut, Control R. Welcome to HillmanTok. Hello star. We see it outputted here. Now notice how Python shows exactly what's inside the quotes. You can try anything. You can put your favorite song, a random phrase, whatever you like. Now, let's go a little bit deeper into why we need quotes around text in Python. What will happen if we do not have these quotes in this second statement, print hello star? So I'm going to get rid of that. So after typing this, you see that it's upset. It does not like this. There are errors happening. And so you can see this light bulb right here, like, red light bulb problem. Now, if I try to run the command, so once again, I'm going to hit Control R to run it. So Python will throw an error because it doesn't understand what hello is. And it thinks you're trying to refer to something else. So like a variable or a piece of code, and it's confused. So whatever a variable is, it's going to make more sense in the next lesson. So what do we need to do to get rid of this error? Well, once again, since this is a piece of text, all we need to do is just wrap it with quotes. Now, you see that these are double quotes. You can actually also use single quotes. Oops. Single quotes work also. So when you're writing text and you need to make it a string, you need to wrap the text around either single quotes or double quotes. Now, what's super awesome is that strings, which is just text, aren't limited to just words. We can actually put 7, and if I run this command, if I run this program and hit Control R, you can see it prints 7. You can add other types of things in here. You can add an emoji, you can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really what's going on is these quotations are saying this is text inside of here. And so if I run this, if I hit Control R, you can see how it prints to the terminal. All right, so the print function, it's not just for text. You can also use it to display numbers or even do simple calculations. So let's just do a number. I'm going to say print 42. Okay? As you can see, that looks extremely different from the print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, it's the quotations that makes this different. This does not have quotations, so this is actually literally just a number. So if I run the program, Control R, you can see that it prints out the number 42, which actually does look similar to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under the hood, this is a whole different type compared to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a string. This is actually a number. You can also do math calculations. Okay, so if I do print 4 plus 2, run it, we get 6. Print 4 times 5, run it, we get 20. Print 100 divided by 10, we get 10.0, which is something that we'll talk about. All right, so I'm going to try something tricky. What happens if I print this? Well, let's notice what we have. We have my favorite number is, which is a string, and then we say plus 7. So there's some type of calculation or some type of combining that should happen with this plus sign here. So if I run this, let's see what happens. Okay, we get an error, type error. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. So I'm not going to talk about what this type error really means, but as you notice, this doesn't work yet, okay? And I'll explain to you later why you cannot add a string to a number. But let's just close out this print section, and I want to say, great job. You've just learned how to use the print function to display text, numbers, and do calculations. So take some time to experiment with different things that you can print, your name, a fun phrase, or even a math problems. I have some exercises for you to practice with the solution as well. So stay tuned for the next lesson, and we're going to build on this by learning how to store information so you can easily reuse it. All right, stay tuned.